Hello beer troopers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets, today joined by
Brett.
I've had on my seas, checking out another beer we got from Beerdome from one of our latest orders. And this is another beer from Outside. We had the hipster brunch.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nothing like crazy or anything. It was just a decent barrel-aged beer.
Yeah.
But we thought we'd get this one because a few people recommended it. And this is Outside Ales Hazel's Nuts. This is also a coffee stout. This is an Imperial Stout in bourbon barrels with coffee and natural hazelnut flavor.
Yep.
I love hazelnut coffee stout, so hopefully it will be good.
Yep.
Pours a nice color, by the way, 12%, I think, 12.1.
Yeah. It's like a creamy, it looks like a creamy coffee or something.
Yeah, I mean, and it's got some reddish notes in the bottom of the glass. Not the thickest of heads, darkest of heads, but it's fluffy.
Yeah.
And it's easy to swirl up a new head.
Yeah.
But also, since it's not made with extra hazelnut flavor, you don't get all the oils, so head retention is still pretty decent.
Yeah.
But yeah, black in color.
It looks inviting.
Yeah, let's check out the aroma. Big on hazelnut. It's Noah-like.
Yes.
From Imperial because it's the hazelnut flavoring.
Yeah.
Actually, it dominates. It's almost peanutty.
Yeah, I was just about to say it. It definitely goes into that peanutty.
It's like toasted.
Yeah, toasted peanuts.
But the thing is, there's so much toasted nut, a little bit of chocolate.
Yeah. Slightly like buttery.
Yeah, almost like diacetyl.
Butterscotch.
But
kind of thing.
the only problem with it is that for me, at least on the aroma, it completely overshadows the coffee. It just smells
and
like
the bourbon barrel.
Yeah. It smells more like hazelnut than the barrel or anything.
Yeah. It smells.
It smells fun though.
Yeah, it smells good, but you don't really get.
I'm really excited to see how the base is gonna hold up to that because that's a lot of flavoring. But
there's some hints of maybe slightly spirity, bourbony-ish thing.
Maybe there's some vanilla, and that could be that too.
Yeah, but to me, it's only if I really stretch my imagination.
I think vanilla is there, but I think it also.
Yeah, it's definitely vanilla. It's like, quite desserty smelling, but not really much coffee or barrel.
It's iced. Cheers. Thanks to Beerdome. It is actually really velvety.
Yeah. Good base.
Very roasty compared to what I expected.
It actually, because that makes it taste, I know it's hazelnut flavoring, but it makes it taste real.
I don't know if it tastes
realer.
Realer.
More real. Yeah. Because it has like something that resembles a natural, slightly dry, roasted hazelnut finish.
But a much better mouthfeel than the one we had. Yeah. The hipster brunch. I wonder, is it made with lactose? Probably not, because otherwise it'd probably be on the bottle. But it's just like really roasty hazelnutty. Again, the barrel is quite hidden, I think.
Yeah, I think it's strange with these beers. Why do they put them in a bourbon barrel? Why spend that extra money?
Yeah, and time.
Yeah,
because
on a bourbon barrel, if it's a bit gone.
But there is some heat, and I think that is the barrel.
Yeah, and that was what I kind of sensed in the aroma and also sense in the taste, but it's nothing that you really. Yeah, it's nothing that really jumps at you.
But the big plus for me is the super fluffy, creamy mouthfeel, which is really nice.
It's just really pleasant and like.
And if you love hazelnut, if you're one of these people who just really adore the pastry style, where it's just like so intense and flavored, which I think a lot of people who are coming into craft beer, it seems like what they go for, if you look online, is hazy IPAs and pastry stouts. Because they're quite accessible, because they are it's more familiar flavors, I guess. Yeah. So if you really like that, I think you dig it a ton. I think it's nice, but it's not something I'm like blown away by. And there's a good beer in it, but I think it's too much flavoring.
Just this one. Yeah, I agree.
And it's just something I've gravitated more towards, I guess. But the fun thing though, so one of the problems I'm starting to have with pastry stout and hazy IPAs, even though I like them still, I enjoy them, is for newcomers to craft beer. This is a little discussion, I know, branching into something different, but I've seen people rate beer online complaining about IPAs that are bitter, complaining about stouts that taste like stouts.
That are roasty.
Yeah, and it's just like, but it's. I saw a guy the other day bash a benchmark oatmeal stout. A benchmark Samuel Smith oatmeal stout. If you want to taste how a properly well brewed oatmeal stout should taste, that is like one of the go-tos. And he bashed it because it had like roasty and flavors and an odd sweetness. It's an oatmeal stout. It's supposed to be sweet. And the other one I saw was a guy saying he was drinking a West Coast IPA, and he said, "I don't like this because it's bitter, and it tastes like a stout. It tastes bitter like a stout." And he's had like the roasty stouts, and he probably doesn't like the roasty bitterness, so he associates that with stout. So he said, "I don't like this IPA," and the rest of the comment, he didn't like it because it tasted like a stout. And I know it's probably a novice and a beginner, but that's one of the things I've kind of started to have a little bit of a problem with a lot of the haze and the pastry stouts and stuff. It's because it's slowly drifting further away from beer.
Yeah.
So like people get a different idea of what craft beer also is. Because it's so big and there's so much other cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just really coming full circle with a lot of the classic things and like just styles where it's like there's natural ingredients and whatnot. Even though you see on the channel all the time, we review a lot of the crazy fun stuff. But I'm just
we like to mix it up.
Yeah. But when we do the crazy fun stuff, often when we also really go nuts over it, was like with Andromeda, because it was like actual real coconut flavor. You also tasted the barrel. It was really thick. All these things. So I'm starting to have a little bit of a beef with pastry stouts like this. Not like I'm against them. They should still make them if they want to, but I'm steering more and more clear of them than I did in the past. New England IPAs, maybe not so much. It's more the pastry stuff, but New England IPAs I'll still have, when it's really fresh. It was maybe more just because I was a bit bummed by a guy who was angry at West Coast IPAs for being bitter.
Yeah.
But
actually one of my biggest problems with especially the pastry stouts is that because you use these adjuncts that taste very similar, I think it's very, the beer is, you don't get much of a surprise from drinking it. If it says hazelnut flavoring, I almost know beforehand how it will taste because hazelnut flavoring is so, it's just
distinct.
Yeah, and so you can find like 100 beers with hazelnut flavoring that taste more or less like this. Because hazelnut flavoring just tastes like this.
Yeah.
So it's very, very hard to actually brew a stout that's unique with these flavorings because, it's just...
They end up tasting the same.
It's hard to get a signature through those
and I think
flavorings.
It's so true. And then also with the whole thing here is, again, as I said, it's like it gets further away from, like, people drift further away from liking something that should be really good just maybe without the adjunct or the flavoring. And then there's just a lot of it becomes the same.
Yeah.
It's and you know what to expect when you get it. But in the beginning when we started seeing them, it was a new breath of fresh air.
It was unique because not that many did it.
Yeah.
And like the flavoring was like a surprise.
Yeah.
But now it has become like something that is very...
Because I guess ultimately people still hunt the craft beer for the surprises.
Yeah.
At least the people who do it, who like to get that one, wow, I really enjoy this.
But to me it has just become...
Too much.
No, and not necessarily too much, overdone. And because it's been overdone, it's just... I don't get the surprise at all. It's just like, it tastes like the 20 other stouts with a hazelnut or peanut flavoring.
Yeah, but it's fun. But then we have the ones that are done well where you actually, it's balanced with the base and everything. It can be done.
You get some other things that makes
but it's hard because this one is, I think it's just too much of the flavorings. Because there's a good base beer here.
Yeah.
But the flavoring, it overshadows that and the coffee. And I see that with some of my friends who are, they know I've drank craft beer for a while, and a lot of them haven't really gotten that into it because they're students, so they didn't have as much money and whatnot. But now that they're working jobs and whatever, they have more income, disposable income. They're starting to buy better beers. But what they're going nuts over and gravitating towards is like all the crazy pastry stouts. One of my friends, he swears by, he thinks the best stouts in the world are the Amundsen dessert in the cans. Yeah. And I was like, I remember them being pretty good. And then we had them at a beer dinner thing, and I was like, wow, that's not my cup of tea anymore. It was just a mess. It was just like drinking black adjunct water. It was just so adjunct heavy. There was no base, but he just loved it because it was just like fucking liquid chocolate cake, whatever. But for me, like it's getting to a point where it just hides other complexities, and I think it's a shame. But that being said, it still has a merit. It still has a place because there are some of them that are done really right, where everything is in balance and it tastes.
Yeah, and where they use the adjunct with other like natural flavors or like a distinct barrel presence or. Where it becomes a unique and signature.
When it's just pure adjunct, it often gets too much. Yeah. But other plus as well is like it's a good thing also to draw more people into beer. Get more people interested into anything else.
It's just a shame if that's what beer has to be like good.
But that's a problem with mainstream. Mainstream has to be really accessible. Big, roasty, thick. Bourbon barrel aged Imperial stouts are not accessible. An Imperial stout that doesn't taste like a stout but tastes like hazelnut sugar water. Is accessible.
Yeah, or like a hazelnut coffee you bought in Starbucks.
Yes. Yeah. Which is mainstream. That's always now we're getting all like mainstream debating and whatever. But you know what we mean.
It's that.
It's just I kind of felt like getting off my chest because I've been cooked up about it for a bit, or cooked up about it. I've been thinking about it for a bit.
Yeah, but I think we said what we wanted to say.
We've been rambling for a while, so let's cut it short there. Yeah. But that being said, we're not knocking the beer. It's a nice beer. I'm still going to go 90. I think it's actually quite enjoyable. Yeah. But it's not exactly what I want.
If it had some like distinct coffee
that would be
presence, like some kind of coffee bean that gave it something else, and if it had like a barrel that gave it something unique,
but I think just
it would
the thing that would
it.
But the big thing I just think is just less of the extract. Less
yeah.
But I think extract, less is more. And then boost with the real thing or real thing boost a little bit with extract. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
That's kind of what I've gotten from a lot of beers that where it's done well. But wow, long spiel. This is going to be one of those rant videos. But hey, that was fun. So maybe that's also why we're getting so into Pilsners again. The simplicity of it and getting back to something that tastes like what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's our 2 cents on that. So if you guys had a chance to try Outside Ales, what do you grade?
Yeah, well, I actually thought about straight 90.
Yeah. So if you guys had a chance to try Outside Ales Hazelnuts, let us know what you thought of it. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And thanks to Beerdome for the beer. Check them out. Link for the shop is down below. And again, this is also an endless discussion, but this is also a lot of breweries, I think, feel like they have to do it now as well to earn money.
Yeah.
Because the beer industry is all about staying relevant too. So, but let's cheers on that and see you guys in another beer review.
Cheers.